Like the I don't know, the Bubble Boy, like where they
just smash into each other
in the bubbles.
Sumo.
Like, dude, like I'm talking about like slip disc and like I'm gonna have to like spend every day for the next month at the chiropractor after that. Like, come on now.
You know you're getting old when people ask you to do things, like recreational, and you're worried about insurance deductibles.
Good.
Can't play City League softball anymore because my deductible's a little
Throw my
high.
back out.
Insurance ain't taking my dental records anymore.
From the SodPod.com studios, telling stories from around our little piece of Texas.
Ooh, baby.
This is the Doghouse Podcast with Michael, Chase, and Seth. Talking all things baseball in the Yellow City.
There's more history out of Hodgetown as the Soddies have extended their inaugural season. A lot of great news for Sod Poodle fans since we last recorded. The Soddies are back home at Hodgetown on Tuesday, September 10th and Wednesday, the 11th, to kick off a best-of-5 series against Tulsa for the Texas League Championship title. We've seen so many new faces, including Jacob Nix making a rehab start down from San Diego to Amarillo during the playoffs, which included home games the 4th and 5th against the Midland Rockhounds in a best-of-5 series. Unfortunately, the Soddies lost those first 2 home games, forcing them to win 3 straight in Midland if they wanted to stay alive and advance to the Texas League Championship. And they did it, taking 3 in a row from the Rockhounds in Midland. Several players were added back to the Sod Poodles roster for the playoff stint after being called up to AAA El Paso. Unfortunately, the El Paso Chihuahuas did not make their playoffs, though fortunately enough, that freed up those players to be brought in to Amarillo. Players included SportsCenter top 10 playmaker Peter Van Gatsen, or PVG, Taylor Colway, and an Amarillo favorite, Travis Radke. Another SportsCenter top 10 playmaker, pitcher Ronald Bolanos, was called up from Amarillo and made his Major League debut with the Padres. David Bednar, another dominant Amarillo Sod Poodles pitcher, also got called up to the Bigs and had a 1-2-3 inning in his first outing in the Bigs. An amazing story for Bednar after being selected in the 35th round. And now from our recording session at Esquire Jazz, an episode that gets into the guys' pastime with golf. And, of course, all things baseball in the Yellow City.
Yeah. All right, another fun bit is I think we finally have our hand signal. Is this true? So we got the foam claws.
Yeah, foam
so
claws.
apparently now we're not going to go with the 2 big teeth. We're going to go with the big foam claws.
Yeah, but that's too Baylor Bear-esque.
Yeah, you got to move it. You gotta dig, or what do you do?
I still like the teeth.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like you do the 2-finger curve.
No, that's very TCU-ish though.
Touche.
Yeah,
guys, we
didn't think this one through. Tony Enzer, we didn't think this one through.
Yeah. Guys, here's what I task us with. So I think that we should. I think it's been put upon our shoulders that we've got to come up with a insignia like the hand signal. I think we've got to do it, and I think we've got to pass it around, and then I think we've got to make it happen at the ballpark. So we've really got to come up with something.
Well, I think you should spend some time across the street from Bell Helicopter and watch them in action out there.
Yeah.
And see if they use 2 claws or 3 to dig those holes.
They really just kind of like pop up. And then
There
they
you
back
go.
down
We're
and
going to
they
say
pop
they
up.
use 3.
There we go.
Here you go.
That's it.
That kind of looks like you're doing air quotes, but like doing it wrong.
Huge air quote.
Yeah.
You're like doing air quotes.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Not
You're
per
not,
se.
You're not doing quote unquote.
I think we need to get Travis Radke's opinion on this. We need to get him on the show. We need to task him with this. Like, bro, your fan favorite. Everyone on the third base line loves you. One of our favorite closers, our favorite relief pitchers. What do you want the sign to be? Maybe he wants his own special sign. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be that guy.
But if he starts
Maybe
it
I'll
out
grow
there,
goatees. I'll do my goatee. What do we got to do? But I think he would have very great insight to what our signal should be.
yeah.
Signal. Or signal.
Radke, if you're listening, we got to talk.
Yep.
Hashtag Radkey's dad. What's the foam claw look like? Do we know?
It was, God, where did we see the foam claw?
You went and got a hat today. You didn't buy a foam claw.
I didn't even buy the hat at the team store. I went to the golf course. I went to Powder Creek. So I went to Powder Creek, bought this awesome Titleist Sod Poodle hat. Went to Powder Creek Golf Course in Canyon. They put them for sale yesterday.
What did you shoot at PDC? Because
I didn't play. I just went and bought the hat.
Shot 0.
Yeah. I killed it out there today, Chase.
like,
I didn't even have to use my
I hit
pencil.
like a 68. Like,
I hit par.
So no, I just went and bought the hat. But he told me that in Canyon, the Sod Poodle Titleist hat, they got 3 dozen of them yesterday. I bought the second to last one.
what?
Yeah. Hot commodity.
PDC is a good course. It's a hard course. But
It's my
a
home
pretty good
course. Shot my best round of golf at PDC.
Home field advantage there.
What was that? What was that score?
I mean, we've got people out there listening. So for those of you listening, my best score was a 60.
What'd you get on the back 9?
Ba-da-da. No. So, big golfer?
Little golfer.
Little golfer.
Yeah.
Little golfer.
What sticks are you using?
Well, actually, I have a set of Nikes, and that's they don't make them anymore. So I
Lamas.
like keeping them.
Coverts 2.0.
Nice.
I'm not saying.
Okay.
It's an unlisted number.
Yeah.
But
a Nike-
tailor-made woods.
Okay. Yeah.
Love those. Yeah.
Swinging the Big Bertha.
No more Big Berthas. Used to swing the Big Bertha, but the tailor-made. Oh, that's the.
I'm glad
the
you're not
driver.
using a Nike driver, though, because I've hit the Sasquatch, and it sounds like a Coors Light can at the end of a shaft when you hit.
And you feel it all the way up to your shoulders, don't you?
You do.
Yeah, it's like hitting a rock. It's like Fred Flintstone playing golf.
The hat is awesome. My favorite thing about Titleist is their hats. That's about the only thing I like about them.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
But there's not any more at the
Proby ones, I
Paladura
guess.
Creek.
One more.
One more?
Yeah.
Okay, is it a fitted cap or is it?
No, it's
Okay, all right.
fitted, yeah.
So it'll fit any of us.
It will. And I've got a real small head.
Even Michael's little head.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a real small head.
Yeah, I rocked some Nike Covert 2.0s. Had a gap wedge through 4. Favorite set of irons I ever had. Really great clubs, and I swung a King Cobra. My buddy had it. He couldn't hit it for crap. And so I was like, let me see that club. He's talking about this club's so terrible. I got it, man. I just bombing them down the fairway. He's like, here. He goes, $50, you can have it. It's about a $450 club. Like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Best money I ever spent. And then I got another buddy. He's actually got a Purple Heart. Shout out to TJ. We were out there playing for a bachelor party, and he had a 52-degree wedge, which I can't hit. I can't hit those 52, anything like that, way laid back. And we had a bet on the club. We're all gonna hit this club, and whoever got the closest to the hole got to take it home. And I nailed it. That was the only time I ever swung the club, but it was sitting in my golf bag for about 3 years.
Love the wedges. I've got a 60-degree
Okay.
TaylorMade. It's sweet.
I kind of zoned out what y'all were saying because all I can really think about is when we're going to go play golf with Patrick. So.
Yes. let's schedule that right now. We didn't even talk about my putter. I mean the Spider.
You got Spider?
Yes. Best thing I ever did. Cut two strokes off almost every hole.
It's got GPS on it.
Oh yeah.
Favorite course in town? Where do you play the most?
Well, I'm a member out at Tascosa, so I play
Tascosa, okay,
La Paloma and Tascosa.
Yeah.
So I play there every weekend.
Yeah.
Paloma or Tascosa?
I'm more of a Tascosa
Are you?
player. I love that. I love that side.
I like Paloma better, but I think Tascosa's like 2 times easier than Paloma. I think Paloma's the hardest course in town, personally.
I think
it's funny.
Paloma's hard.
You talk to the guys that were members at Tascosa before they merged. They'll tell you that they hate La Paloma side. The guys at La Paloma say they hate the Tascosa side.
Yeah.
So it's just what you're used to, I guess.
Yeah.
Tascosa reminds me of like a way nicer PDC. Like, it's got the trees around the course.
Yeah.
Got some big fairways, which is what I like to play to. And Paloma, it's like bunker, hill, bunker, hill.
Links kind of.
Yeah,
When was the last time you played at Tascosa, though?
it's been a couple years.
It's totally different.
It is,
They
okay.
ripped out half the trees there.
Yeah.
Oh, that
And they put
stinks.
more sand bunkers in. There's more sand on Tascosa than there is on the La Paloma side.
So we've got a big tournament out there every year, and that's where we were playing on Monday. And then I had a $100 gift card that I'd won the previous year, and I had 2 days to spend it. So I almost wore it tonight, and I wish I would have now that we're talking about it. But I bought the most glorious shirt in the pro shop that's just blue, and it's got miniature American flags all over it.
Couldn't be more
I
glorious
love it.
than this shirt.
Second only to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really. Yeah. That sounds great.
I used my $100.
Step up your shirt game, bro.
I used my $100 gift card for it, and I still had to use my debit card for the rest.
You could have got one sleeve of balls out there for that. Come on. And not used any of your debit card.
Yeah.
So a little bit about the Esquire. It's in this really cool building. It's historic, right?
It is.
You want to tell us a
Absolutely.
little bit about it? I don't want to butcher the original name.
Well, that's all right. I will tell you that it's originally it was the F.W. Woolworth building, which was constructed in the early or mid 40s, 1940s, way before you guys were born. And so it was the Woolworth building until about 1972. And Woolworth, by the way, was the original Walmart, right? It was a 5 and dime store. They put in thousands of them all over North America and maybe beyond. I don't know. In fact, one of our signature cocktails here is called a Woolworth cocktail, and it was the original recipe of Mr. Woolworth, F.W. himself, his favorite drink. So we have it on our menu.
What would that be?
Well, it'll knock you out if you drink 2 of them. So just have one or share it.
So we're going to call tonight's recording short. All right, here we go.
3 Woolworths over here.
And we're not sharing.
That's right. But it was originally that. In about 1972 or 1973, they closed this building down. And for a number of years, it was a parking garage, if you can imagine this. In fact, if you look on the wall over there, there's a number 7 on the plaster on our south side wall interior that says number 7. Well, that was the number of the parking slot that was there. It was that for a while, and then about 32 years ago, the U.S. Bankruptcy Court leased this building and placed the federal bankruptcy courthouse and clerk's office in this building, which is my day job. I'm a bankruptcy lawyer, so that was my day job. So I was very familiar with this location, and 3 years ago when it came available, I said, this is the perfect spot for this jazz club that I've wanted to put in. And so if you look at our interior, you'll see that the bar is made out of the judge's bench. The sound booth is the actual witness stand from the courtroom.
Wow.
And all of these look like church pews. Those were the benches in the gallery of the courtroom. So, and you'll see in there lots of old law books and old bookshelves and things that remind you of lawyers. And, of course, all my mail comes addressed to me, Patrick A. Swindell, comma, Esquire, hence the name. And also, the Esquire Movie Theater was one of the best movie theaters in town at 1800 Washington for a long, long time. So I had a love for that, and you'll see a photo of it somewhere in the building as well.
So tell us about this. So we're sitting here downtown Amarillo on Polk Street, historic Polk Street at that, in this beautiful building. And just tell us what this awesome growth and the restoration of downtown Amarillo not only means to Amarillo as a whole and as a community, but what it means to you being from Amarillo, living in Amarillo, and starting something like you've started here in Amarillo. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, I think it's very exciting, for those of us who've been around a long time. I'm not going to keep picking on Joe, but those of us on Medicare, let's just say that. It's exciting because for so many years it had kind of been abandoned, and there was, for those of us who had hoped and wished and dreamed, it just seemed like that was never going to happen. And then all of a sudden it just happened so quickly. I don't know, I've been to Lubbock lately, and their downtown area is not, they're never going to catch us.
We can call the kettle black. It's terrible.
Yes, it is.
Downtown Lubbock is terrible.
It is.
No, I'm sorry.
It is just dead there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even their depot district is not what it should be.
No.
Let's put it that way. There's some great places there, but But it's
That's why
very.
Lubbock didn't get the Sod Poodles.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Can I paint this glorious picture real quick?
Yes, please.
We got Chase Whitney sitting here back against Polk Street with 6 Car and Crush right behind him with his American flag. It's got an axe, whiskey,
Ron Swanson.
bacon and eggs, Ron Swanson.
Some coffee.
Sipping on a martini, a very fancy green martini
It's a
glass.
Woolworth.
That's a Woolworth?
It's a Woolworth.
That's a Woolworth.
It comes in a martini glass, but this is a Woolworth.
How is it? And
Scotch, and it's awesome.
and were you wearing red lipstick before you started drinking that, and it just wore off on there?
Yeah, but I mean, we're doing radio, so why do you got to talk about it?
Right, we'll paint a picture, all right?
Yeah.
Woolworth. So it's everything
Is it delicious?
Yeah.
that you want.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
On a scale
stuff.
1 to Ron Swanson.
It's Swanson-esque.
He'd be proud.
Yeah,
I have a question. Do you have a matching pair of underwear?
I wish if they made them, I would
That
have
would be
them.
really good.
I wish they had it in hat form so you weren't wearing that Astros hat.
Yeah, I have to ask you, now that we've talked about, in particular, our dress code, does it look like we have a dress code? It's only that.
No.
It has to be very patriotic to get in this
Okay.
place.
Hey, it's a button-up, okay?
It,
You can wear it to any kind of formal event.
is that shirt reversible? I mean, does it have something on the other side?
No,
American flag.
That would make it really great.
shirt is America.
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 Guys, did y'all see Canyon High School graduate Jake Rogers? Did y'all see this?
Drafted by the Astros.
And then at some point, I guess, traded to Detroit.
Yeah, Justin Verlander trade, yeah.
Oh, okay.
2017 Justin Verlander trade, yeah.
So he started last night. He was a starting catcher for the Detroit Tigers last night on July 31st. Starting catcher for Detroit Tigers. Canyon, Texas native, batted 8th.
He played college ball at Tulane.
Okay, Tulane. Not aware.
Drafted,
Tell me more, stat rat.
I want to say 4th, 5th round, something like that.
That's decent.
Yeah.
Fairly high by the Astros. Drafted as profiled as like a really he was the top kind of defensive catcher in recent years. Big time defense with potential at the plate. I honestly haven't followed him much since he got traded in 2017. Of course, obviously, I would take that trade again and again. Hated to see him go, but when you get Justin Verlander, a World Series, and then
Did you say Derek Zoolander?
Well, baseball has been picking up steam in this area for a long time, so it's nice to see it come to fruition in the Major League level.
All right, Sod Poodle Nation, again, we are here at Esquire Jazz Club on Polk Street. It is a beautiful July evening. We are having a blast here on the patio. We've got folks out here having a great time, having some drinks, listening to some live music. Beautiful night, no wind, perfect night on the patio. Come out, enjoy a drink, enjoy some music at Esquire.
and you guys are putting some great musical talent hosting here. Tell us a little bit about who you've had since you opened.
All right. Well, 2 months ago, approximately, we had a bluegrass band from Naples, Italy. They couldn't speak English very well, but they could sing it. And there was a guy that played the harmonica who sounded just like Joe Cocker, I swear. Even looked the part. It was amazing. We've had artists from the UK, from all over the United States. I just booked a Brazilian jazz guitarist today who's traveling through Amarillo and needed a kind of an evening gig on the way, so to speak, and he's going to be here. I'm going to have to check our calendar. May I plug that right now?
Go ahead.
www.esquirejazzclub.com. You can go and check out the calendar. In fact, you can even buy tickets to attend an event there. But this guy was an incredibly talented Brazilian jazz guitar player, and he'll be here just in September.
What
Man,
a testament.
That's such a cool story that people are seeking you out, and like the amount of talent that comes through here, especially different genre than we're used to.
You guys really, I'm going to make a suggestion to you. You should do one of your guests for a podcast needs to be a gentleman who lives here in Amarillo. His name is Frank Saucier, Saucier. He still holds the highest batting average for a first-season rookie.
Wow.
And he lives right here. He's got what they give them a silver bat from whoever manufactured bats back then.
Yeah.
But he lives here. I don't know if you know him or not, but you should look him up. He's a good friend of mine. He's been to the Esquire Jazz Club several times.
Wow.
He's
Sounds
also
like we got our
famous.
next guest.
Yeah. You really should, because he's got a great story about. He was on a team, and the manager brought in, and this is a true story. Look it up. In fact, you can look him up on Wikipedia, and the story about the manager was just notorious for. In fact, he may have been the first person that brought in all of these gimmicks that all of the Sod Poodles do. He brought all these gimmicks in. One of the first things he did was he brought in I guess the proper term is a little person to bat for Frank Saucier. And he was so short that the pitcher
Couldn't throw a strike.
couldn't throw a strike. and this you can look it up. The true story about that. And he's a really interesting guy. Later in life, he enlisted in the Navy, and he was one of the first Navy SEALs, but back then they called them frogmen. So you guys need to look up Frank.
Yeah,
He's a very interesting guy.
For
We've
sure.
got to get Frank on here.
We'll get his number from you. We'll get him on.
Okay,
next
yeah,
time.
look him up in Wikipedia because he's incredible.
That's awesome.
That's good
I don't know
news.
why I didn't think of that before, but when it comes to baseball, I think of Frank Saucier.
Nice.
He's got that bat. I just want to stand with him and take a picture with that bat.
Silver Slugger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver
Louisville
Slugger.
should
He's
be.
got one, yeah.
Awesome.
Again, your Amarillo Sod Poodles take on the Tulsa Drillers Tuesday, September 10th at Hodgetown, with another home game following on the 11th. This will be another best-of-5 series with the Texas League Championship title on the line. Let's bring the ruckus and make this a truly historical inaugural season. The SodPod.com studios, telling stories from around our little piece of Texas.